Welcome to Your Cochrane Right Now. This is a weekly podcast all about the best town in the world, Cochrane, Alberta. My name's Eric, usually joined by Lauren Meister, but she's on vacation. So I have the one and only Candace Davies hanging out with me. Hi, Candace.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for coming in. And if somebody doesn't know, who is Candace Davies? How long have you been in Cochrane for?
You know, a tough question right off the start.
Yeah.
Like, wow, 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
And you work here at Cochrane now.
I do.
Yes, you work on the news side. You're kind of all over. You're on air and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And why Cochrane? 15 years?
Well, you know, it's a kind of a long story.
Okay.
How much
hit me up.
time have we got on this
We've got
podcast?
hours.
Okay, good.
Yes.
We originally moved from Lethbridge to Cremona.
Nice. Okay.
And spent a couple of years in Cremona and would drive to Cochrane and went, who wouldn't want to live here?
Yeah, right.
And
One
so-
day.
Yeah. And so made the move. Our boys were young and they started school here and have been ever since and never looked back.
Now, so 15 years, your boys are young. You actually have a son who's graduating this year, right?
I do. And I'm trying not to think about it.
Don't
'cause
cry.
He's my baby.
Yeah.
He's graduating grade 12, Bow Valley High, and lots of excitement starting to build.
Which is incredible, right? Because that excitement has been gone for the past 2 years now, right? And so being a parent and seeing the stuff come down, seeing your son, is he getting excited? Is that motivating him to push through this?
You know, it's been interesting watching the teens during this pandemic because, of course, you know, they're pretty good about it. They take everything in stride, all the rules and all the regulations. Yeah. And they've also been very hesitant every time something came out. They go, we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, they're very, very mature about it. But I am starting to see the excitement now. And the big thing is, of course, that the ceremony wasn't going to happen. They were doing drive-by ones. They did that last year.
Yes.
And so it was just a small group. You would do a drive-by and you would have a certain amount of people. This time it has been announced official that they get to go to the big venue.
Oh, man.
And everybody gets to be together and everybody gets to walk across the stage. So I think it's a big deal.
And as mom, right? For my mom, graduating was her goal, right? Like you did it, you got them to it, and it's huge. So just as mom, you're excited.
It is huge, and I mean it's a gigantic milestone for parents and kids. I mean, they're starting a new journey after this. So yeah, it's nice, and I have felt so bad for the last 2 years for the grad classes because they did make the best of it. They did a great job.
Everybody,
but it was different.
There was huge banners up in Sunset of kids graduating. Some went from the roof of people's houses down, I'd say a solid 25 feet banners. So, of course, parents so proud of their kids. And now, hopefully, right?
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
It's actually
Fingers,
gonna
toes,
happen.
and everything else.
And you were saying that parents are now starting to reach out to build the second part of Grad, which is the party, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're still a little bit up in the air about banquets. I'm not sure. And I think more of the issue is getting a venue. Although, as Jim, my husband, always says, he says, well, they're probably looking for people to book right now, right?
That's true.
So I don't know. I'm not sure I haven't been in on all the conversations, but I think it's more about finding a venue than anything else.
When I graduated here in Cochrane, we went into the city. It was the TELUS Convention Center.
Still is. Yeah.
Still is, yeah. You'd think, we had to rent buses and all that stuff. You'd think we'd be able to do it here in Cochrane, but I guess that's a lot of kids, a lot of parents.
Well, it is. I know that it comes up every year. Why can't we do it in Cochrane? But I just don't think they have a big enough venue. One day, maybe we will, but hopefully not.
Things could be changing when they see how much gas is, right? They're like, oh, you could rent buses and stuff, but at that point, we'll probably be sitting around $2 a liter. We're both very lucky. We live here in Cochrane. We work here in Cochrane. But even myself, taking my kids from Sunset down to Spray Lakes for swimming lessons, I go, oh, man, Like, this is an $8 trip.
I know.
Right?
I can't imagine. And I mean, I am super lucky because I'm within walking distance to work.
Yes.
So I don't even have to drive. And for the last year and a half, I've been able to work from home too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I have not felt the pinch, but oh my goodness, I can't imagine how families are dealing with this. It's got to be tight.
And we were posting on CochraneNow.com about a virtual job fair going on for jobs here in Cochrane. And you got to imagine, like, even if you were to take a pay cut, that is just like spending half your paycheck to get to work.
Yeah.
We've heard stories of people who get second jobs now to pay for the gas to get to the first job. So this is a very interesting time for Cochrane, because Cochrane forever has been known as the bedroom community. You work in Calgary, you live in Cochrane. But it could be changing. Either people will start working in Cochrane, new jobs, maybe new businesses, or people will start heading west.
Well, and
east.
I was joking the other day on air, but it's actually quite true. I was thinking, I wonder if they will expand the work at home mandate, not because of the pandemic, but because people can't afford to commute.
Yeah, I've known a couple of people who actually work in the city, work in Airdrie, and they've said to their people, like, hey, I live in Cochrane, like, can we keep working from home? And usually the response is, you don't have to live in Cochrane, right?
Yeah.
It's your choice to live further away. So I could see this being a big shift, unless hopefully the gas prices just go back to normal soon. But
they're not forecasting that, though. That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah. So, but gas sucks. We're going to be okay.
We'll be sad about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right.
Earlier this week here in Cochrane, around the world, International Women's Day. But I think it really hit a lot of us here in Cochrane because women run this town. Like, let's be honest.
Girl power.
Exactly. Yep. We have so many different business owners. A lot of our powerhouse volunteer groups are entirely made up of women.
For sure.
Speakers, everybody. And you were saying that you really noticed yourself just being part of this community, how awesome our women are.
Oh, for sure. And, when I think of myself and I think about International Women's Day, I think of myself and I go, well, I'm not doing anything real special.
Okay, Candace, you're doing so much special stuff.
But you know who I do think about, and I know for a fact that your mom was a single mom.
Yes.
My mom was a single mom.
Yes.
My mother-in-law was a single mom. And that is not easy. Those are the women that I think should get an award.
Oh, yeah. Especially this day and age where it is so important to get your kids in all these activities. But like, I have my wife and we got 2 young kids and we are running our butts off trying to get our kids to all these different activities and making sure that we're both working and all that stuff. Doing it by yourself.
I can't imagine.
Right.
Because again, I'm not doing anything special in the sense that my husband, like you, is very helpful and we share the load, right?
Yeah.
But to do it, like you say, to do it on your own and particularly for women when pay equity is not there.
Oh, yeah.
It's twice as hard or 3 times or 4 times as hard.
Yeah. It's funny. My daughter came home from school and they were learning about International Women's Day. She's 6 and she's like, yeah, we were learning that boys were really mean to women. And so hopefully that changes. I'm like, yeah, we were pretty mean. Yeah. But things are changing. And man, each generation, right?
Well, isn't it interesting that they're learning about that at 6 years old?
At 6 years old.
That is impressive.
Right? Like she's coming home telling me about the letter G and women's rights.
Good
so,
for
no,
her.
it's awesome. It really is.
Yeah.
And looking at the weather right now, things are starting to change for us. We're getting close to spring. And a huge announcement came down earlier this week from the town saying the patio pilot project is a go. And if you don't know what this is, it's pretty much places that don't have patios built in, all the fancy woodwork. Hey, you have a parking lot, you have a sidewalk, throw some chairs out there, put up a fence, you have a patio.
It's a great initiative, and last year was the first year for it.
Yes.
And they did it because of the pandemic, of course, to give people more seating outside. But I was talking to Mike Corman, and he was saying that this is something that they've wanted to make permanent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But they just decided to do another pilot this year because they didn't get a chance to get feedback from businesses last year because of the pandemic. So this year they're going to do it again as a pilot, get feedback, see what they can tweak and do better, and then make it permanent, hopefully next year.
And this seems like it could be a monster. right? Last year, like you say, it was a pandemic, and I think it was overnight. They were like, hey, restaurants, you can stay open, but you can only eat outside. So the town, being awesome, was like, hey, open up patios. And a lot of these places, we're getting chairs, we're getting tables, we're getting hay bales to try and build these spaces. And now they've had a year, and they've probably been in the know. So I bet you so many different places. And really, Cochrane is one of the best places to sit outside and eat if it's not super windy.
And again, you just, put rocks in your shoes and you're fine.
Yeah, you're from Lethbridge, right?
Lethbridge in here. That's nothing. Pshaw. But I can guarantee I will try to hit as many patios as I can to support.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be...
I love it.
Oh, yeah, right? And a lot of restaurants now in town are way busier since restrictions opening and stuff. So you got to imagine the summer hopefully will just be great.
Like you say, just got to let the weather cooperate.
Yes, we'll get there.
Come on, weather. Yeah. But otherwise, I'm looking forward to summer.
Yes, I think a lot of us are. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So right now we're recording this on Thursday.
Right.
And tomorrow, the Rotary Youth Talent Festival is going on, the finals at Rock Point Church. So just along the 1A there. And they have like 30 different acts of everything under the sun. And these kids are incredible.
The amount of talent that we have in Cochrane and area is mind-boggling.
Yes.
And you get to see almost all of it at this show. Like, it's fabulous.
It's a free show, but I think the seating's limited to 1,000, which you're like, wow, 1,000 people. But you got to imagine, if your kid was in it, you're getting grandma, you're getting aunts, you're getting uncles, you're getting your neighbors to come and cheer them on. So if you're just like somebody who wants to see talented kids doing their thing, you're going to want to be really early.
Don't be like us and procrastinate.
Exactly. If you were a kid and this stuff was going on, did you have like an awesome talent? Were you a tap dancer? Were you
Oh, the list is so long. Let me tell you. No talent.
Yeah, me either. Me either. No, I was jealous of these children growing up because it's just so easy for them. But I was definitely in the crowd for those kind of things.
You know what really I've always been the most jealous of, and to this day, not even as a kid, but the people that can play music by ear.
By ear?
Isn't that amazing? Like, I just go, wow.
I know. And they're like, pick up the piano and they play along and you're like, oh, jerks. So much talent. How dare they?
Rub it in.
Yeah. But thank you so much for hanging out with us, Candace.
It's fun.
Exactly. This is a good time. You can catch this weekly on everywhere, right? Your Spotify's, your Apple Music, anywhere you pick up your podcast services. And thanks again.